Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to use layers in Adobe Muse to change the stacking order of content on your page. So that's whether you want something to sit on top of something else or sit below something else, then you can use layers to reposition whether things are going to be above or below other content on the page. So to give you an example of that, I'm just going to draw out a rectangle here. So let me get my rectangle drawing tool. I'm just going to draw out a rectangle and I will just fill that with red. This is just a quick demonstration. So at the moment you can see that that rectangle sits on top of the image, so it goes above the image, okay? But if I open up my layers panel window, so that can be done here on the right hand side, you'll see that at the moment all the content is just appearing on this layer 1. I can expand that layer 1 by clicking the little arrow icon next to it. That shows me all the content on here, so there's my rectangle, there's my two text boxes, which is this one and this one, and there's my two images, which are these two. Now the menu isn't displayed on here because the menu was created on a master page, so it doesn't actually display on the layers panel window here. I'll show you how to deal with that in a moment. But for the moment, if I want that red rectangle to go below the image, I just need to grab the red rectangle and drag it just below both the images, and then it goes behind. So quickly and easily you can see that it goes behind the image. Drag it above the images and it goes above it again. So that's how you can change the stacking order of content on your page, whether it appears above or below other content on the page. Now what you can also do as well is you can create a new layer. So if I click this little piece of paper here, it will create a new layer for me called layer 2. I can now select that red rectangle and go to object and say move to layer. So I can place it on its own separate layer. So I can put it onto layer 2, which is the new one that I've just created. That red rectangle now appears on layer 2, and then you can just drag that layer around rather than the content within it. So if you did want stuff to be separated out, so all your images to be on one layer and all your text to be on another layer, you could create different layers and then just drag those layers around and it will change the stacking order of your content on your page. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this page because there's a slight issue with this page. When I do Command Shift and E to preview in a browser, what you'll find is that at the moment all the text, in fact all the content, goes up over the top of the navigation menu. So my text goes above the navigation menu, my images go above the navigation menu, and my text goes above the navigation menu. How do I fix this problem? Well, the way to fix this problem is if I go to layers, I don't have a navigation menu on my layers, so I can't move the navigation menu up or below the text or up or below these images. Just not going to work. I'm just going to get rid of this layer here because that was just a dummy one that we had created for that red box. So there's no navigation menu layer here. If I go to plan and we look at the masters page, you'll see that this is where the navigation menu is. So when I go to layers now, you'll see that yes, there's my navigation menu with all of the buttons in place and the sub menu that it's got as well. So the navigation menu is here on the masters, but it's not viewable on your actual pages. So how do I get this navigation menu to sit on top of all the other content on the other pages when I can't drag these layers around? Well, I know here on my master page that the navigation menu sits on layer 1. So when I go back into my plan and open up this page, all of my content here is also sitting on layer 1. And that's why this content goes over the top of the navigation menu. It's because it's sitting on the same layer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new layer, which is called layer 2. I'm then going to click on layer 1, and you can right mouse click on it and say select everything on that layer. So when I say select all on the layer, it's going to select my two text boxes and my two images. I'm then going to go to object and tell it to move all that selected content onto layer 2. So now layer 1 doesn't have anything on it, but we know in the master page that it does have the navigation menu. All of my content on this page now appears on layer 2. All I have to do is drag layer 2 below layer 1. Remember, layer 1 on the master page contains the navigation menu. So because layer 1 sits above layer 2, the navigation menu should now sit above all of the content which I've now transferred onto this new layer, layer 2. So if we do Command Shift and E and preview, now as I scroll you should see that the text and the images go underneath the navigation menu because they're on a separate layer called layer 2, which is below layer 1, and layer 1 contains the navigation menu on the master page. So that's just some ideas about working with layers in Muse.